Dallas Realtor, and it is what? What is it? Today is Market of the Moment, and I'm sure you can notice my voice is kind of gone. Had a lot of fun with the OU Texas game this weekend, so I trust that you guys had a good weekend. Also, if you have not made it to the fair, you guys only have like one and a half more weekends left. So make sure you get to the fair to be able to get, your fair fix this year. I don't know if I'm going to be going. We'll see. So let's jump into the market of the moment. Honestly, last week, I do apologize. I did not jump on and give market of the moment. I was out of town or coming back from out of town. I went down, helped my grandfather get his things together before he moves to Tanzania, and it brought up how important it is to have our things protected. And when I say our things, our properties. So being a real estate cheerleader and your real estate advisor, I want to make sure that you don't just build wealth through real estate, but you actually protect it and then you're able to transfer it with ease. And I think so many times we forget the protect part. So, needing an estate planner, talking to someone to put it into a trust, a tax strategist. If those are some things that you need, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to refer you out to some good people because those are things that you really want to lean into when it comes to making sure that your property is protected, okay? Also, market at the moment. I don't necessarily have any true updates. I will say the market is definitely softening. We still have way more inventory than we have buyers out looking. I will say the market's it's a little challenging for affordability. So anyone who's wanting a lot of affordability, I will say that it's out there. It's just we have to get creative. And so you got to trust your agent. You also have to know that and you also have to pick the right agent that works best with you and your communication skills. Also, people who already own a property and they're not looking to sell, here's a nugget for you. Sign up for property alerts. There's been so much deed fraud in the DFW area, and not only just DFW, like worldwide. So many people are basically getting their home sold from underneath them and not even know it. And setting up property alert, it will alert you if anyone is trying to do something with your deed or pulling your deed so that you would be informed if somebody's trying to sell your house from underneath you, which is not fun. Um, Also, I'm sure you guys have seen some of the headlines about foreclosures going up like 17%. So I will say that distressed properties are starting to pick up, but I don't think that it's making up 1 or 2% of super deals because these houses are sometimes not well taken care of. So you want to make sure that I just personally believe there's other deals out here that are just as good that you can explore. And just like I told one of my clients today, that yes, this is a really good opportunity for buyers. This is the golden window. I feel like it happens every year. Everyone always asks me, when's the best time to buy? I really feel like this time, between September and then the end of the year. I feel like it's the best time to buy. It's just because everyone is trying to sell their property or do something before the end of the year. That's for tax reasons. That's for getting it off the books reasons. There's so many different reasons. And so, with that being said, when you see a property that's pre-loved, I don't like to say pre-owned, I like to say pre-loved. That's pre-loved. Just know that if it's only been on the market for 2 days, don't expect the property to reduce 10%. So many people are like, well, we want everything. And then you're going after these properties that have been on the market for literally 3 or 4 days. There's more negotiating space if the home has been sitting for at least 30 days plus. So just be mindful of that, buyers. Also, sellers, if your property has been sitting for a while, just know sometimes it's not necessarily the price. It could just be an incentive that you could easily do. One of my lenders that I partner with, what we like to do is be creative. Right now, instead of being $10,000 off, we're no payments until next year. And so basically, the seller will give a concession to basically have it where they're not paying their first payment until January 1st. And so to me and other consumers, I've noticed they like those incentives more than just $10,000 off the price. So just make sure you're getting creative as a seller and also creative as a buyer. Um, what other things are going on in Dallas? There's so much growth in Dallas. Hold on. I think I have, oopsies, let's see. I think I have, oh, hey guys. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. How can that happen? Someone sells your home without authorizing. So it's called deed fraud. Deed fraud is so big because so many people, well, I won't say so many people, but people are creative, okay? Just like scammers and all these people who are super smart, they're not using their smartness for their good, they're using it for, for bad things. And so what they'll do is they'll go they'll take someone's deed, they'll pose as they are the owner, and then the title company will do their due diligence and make sure, hey, are you the owner? Let me see your ID. But there's people who are so good that they're even like changing the ID. They're even putting the ID that matches the house address. Like it looks like like it's just changing the name. Like obviously they have way too much time on their hands to be doing all this fraudulent things, but it's happening. There's been people who have gotten their home sold from underneath them. Like they sold this person's house and they were not the owner. They just posed as the owner. So that's typically how that can happen. Um, it is sad, but you can look on TikTok. You'll see some stories on it. Um, Honestly, you can Google it and you can see there's stories like throughout about deed fraud. So my duty and my job and my fiduciary position is to make sure that you are positioned to win, positioned for success. And the easiest route to go is to do a property alert. And if that's something that you guys are interested in, please comment below. I can next Monday jump on, do the market of the moment, and then the last part, I can walk you through how to do a property alert on your house. I do think that it's like very important to do it because once again, you just don't want something like that to happen to you. And of course, it's not serious until like it happens to you or someone you know. So do your best to just try to be prepared. Or what's the saying? You got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Yeah. Um, that's really all I have for you guys today. I feel like leaders are repeaters, and I definitely would be repeating everything market wise. Inventory's up, so means that you have more negotiating space. Buyers, sellers, by inventory being up, you got to be more competitive. It's a beauty contest and a pricing war. And get creative on financing, like I talked about earlier. And then make sure your condition matches the price, the basic things that we talk about. Um, and make sure you have professional photos versus photos that maybe one of your, like the agent took. Some people do that, some people don't. Um, and also know that the market is just, honestly, it's just softened. And I'm hoping it doesn't soften anymore. And just know that a lot of people are feeling it. A lot of agents, like myself, we have, quite a few listings that just like kind of sit on the market. There could be nothing wrong with the property. It's just right now how the market is, doing, it might not move as fast as it once did. Remember, this is a normal market. When you have anywhere from like 5+ months of inventory, you're like buyer. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're more buyer's market / balance market. So, like I've been telling my buyers, take full advantage of all this opportunity for this market, and also don't waste it. I think so many people that have bought with me the last 2 weeks, they're walking in with equity. And so, yes, Um, Things might be tighter on people than they once were because of inflation. And I've heard so many things about jobs. Like so many people have, this is like the month that people like lay off jobs. And it kind of sucks because, you know, no hire, no fire. So it's like right now jobs aren't really like hiring that much, especially during this season. So it's not reporting that jobs are firing because they're not hiring. And so, what I would say is do your best to keep your job, keep your same income, live below your means, try to save as much as you can. I think living below your means is kind of challenging if you live a certain lifestyle, but I will say that it will help you in the long run. I'm even living below my means even more and more each and every day. So, anyways, guys, I trust that this has brought you value. I trust that next week we will talk. I can even show you how to do the property alert. If that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you comment on my YouTube video. That will let me know. Please do that. If I don't get any comments, I won't be doing it because that is emphasizing to me that that is not something that you guys are interested in. So, I think that's really it. If you guys need anything from me, of course. Strategy sessions. I got quite a few last week. And then I even got some collabs and buyer and seller consultations. So things are picking up. People are ready to do something. But you know, when they say, when you, what is it? Jake wants to say hi. Sorry. Okay, guys. Okay, Jake, down, baby. Give me a second. I'm almost done. So, you know, when they, what's the quote like? When you fail to plan, you prepare for failure. So, someone who's looking to move, you know, now or in the next 12 months or the next 2 years, it is best to have a plan. I'm actually rolling out a roadmap of what it looks like to buy in 12 months, what it looks like to buy in 24 months, because I really believe that people need checklists of things to check off to feel like they are getting closer and closer to their goal, if it's truly your goal. So if home ownership or an investor or, you know, having more space or downsizing is something that you need, schedule a strategy session so I can get to know you, kind of hear what your story is, and then I can best assist you in where you are and get you to where you want to be. So, love you, friends. Once again, Kira Ford, your favorite Dallas realtor, aka your real estate cheerleader. I will see you next week. Hopefully, my voice will be much better than it is today. And of course, if you need me, I'm here. And of course, if you know any friends or family that are making a move, send them my way. See you next time.